after knowing the topic happiness, I don't know what to say at first. There are a lot of things that can lead to our happiness, for example, family, friendship, or maybe achievements. But among all those things, is there anything in common? In other words, when we are pursuing our happiness, what are we actually looking for? To answer these questions, I had some researches on happiness. My first research is about the meaning of the word happiness. As an English learner, firstly, I tried to look it up in the dictionary. You see, we translate happiness into Chinese as 幸福. Well, in English, we describe it as the feeling of being happy. And you can see, in English, happiness is more like a short-term feeling. We can be happy for minutes or hours, but we cannot be simply happy for years, because everyone has sad times. And when we are talking about 幸福, we refer to a long-term emotion, which means someone is satisfied with his or her life condition. And here comes the question. Is happiness short-term or long-term? Well, I chose the second one because I think the short-term one can also be described as entertainment. We do the things we like to entertain ourselves and gain temporary happiness, but this is not so meaningful to think about more deeply. So now we have the happiness, a long-term emotion, which means that we are satisfied with our life conditions. In my second research, I want to find others' opinions towards happiness. I need a simple and clear description about happiness. Under this principle, I found a formula from Dr. Paul Samuelson. Happiness is equal to utility divided by desire. Utility is an economic concept which measures the happiness or the satisfaction we have produced by consuming. But it seemingly doesn't work in psychology because it is obvious that consuming is not the only factor that can lead to our happiness. We have a lot of feelings. So I replaced this word with the word satisfaction. And now we have the new formula. Happiness is equal to satisfaction divided by desire. What can we do with these things? To think more deeply, I designed my third research. Now, maybe you can complete it with me. I'm going to focus on the needs of a single person in different life periods. Let's imagine a boy whose name is, let's say, Adam. Adam is just 1 month old. What do he need? Maybe some milk, maybe a cradle, or maybe a lullaby from his mom. But the question is, will the answer stay the same when he is, let's say, 3 years old? Certainly not. For example, the cradle may not relax him anymore, so we don't need the cradle. And maybe he can have some soup or eat some fruit, so the milk is not essential to him either. Who knows, maybe he'll grow up saying, I hate milk. Yeah, that's what I do. So, and at the age of 3, he can already recognize his parents, and during the days living with his parents, he will come to realize that only when his parents are happy can he be happy. I used to be a kid, and we kids know exactly that we cannot ask for playing computer games when our parents are unhappy. What about when we are getting into primary school? He will meet some friends, and he will meet some teachers, and their attitude towards him is important. If he is treated unkindly at school, for example, he is being criticized, or even worse, he is being bullied, he will be absolutely unhappy. And during the middle school for years, his grades become more and more important because we have the college entrance examination, which is also known as 高考. And the question is, what if he doesn't need to worry about these things like grades, teachers, classmates anymore? For example, Adam graduated from a top university with a doctorate. Is it over? No, absolutely not. He will get a job. He will need to satisfy his boss for a promotion or for simply not being fired. He also needs to find a girlfriend and to satisfy her, of course, if he is lucky enough to have one. And after getting married, he needs to take care of his wife's family and his own kid. So this is a normal person's life. If we take a look at these things, we can find out a symptom. As we get older, our happiness becomes more and more connected with others' happiness. You see, we have parents, we have friends and teachers, we have grades, which can also be considered as a kind of evaluating system. And we have bosses, we have girlfriends, and we have more families. Of course, we have those physiological needs like milk, food and drink, food and drink, food and drink. But these things are less effective towards our happiness because in most cases, we just ignore them. We take it for granted that we are healthy and we have the right to pursue our happiness. What really matters is those adaptive needs or social needs. They show that we are approved by our surrounding environment. For example, friendship may show the approval from friends. A promotion may show the approval from the boss or the colleagues. And money and fame may show the approval from the society. In a word, those adaptive needs help us become happier, while physiological needs ensure us to survive and to enjoy our happiness. So what can we do with these discoveries? Can we pursue our happiness? Actually, remember this formula? Happiness is equal to satisfaction divided by desire. Our adaptive needs can be considered as part of our desire. In addition, our adaptive needs are not always the same important. We don't attach the same level of importance to all those needs. So we can just stress some of them and caring less about some of the others, and thus manage our desire and thus reach our happiness. What I want to say at last is that we're always learning and we're always changing. Our sights are changing and our opinions towards happiness are changing too. So, what is happiness? The answer is uncertain, even to a single person in different life periods. In my opinion, what we need is a tool or a way to pursue our happiness. We need to know about what we cherish and what we need. So what I want to share is maybe we can get inspirations from those three researches and thus find our way to pursue our happiness. Thank you.